Hey everyone, happy Thursday and welcome to the Team Fit Revolution weekly call. I am super excited because tonight we've got a guest speaker, one of our very own, as you all may know her, Alexa Luckenbach. She is going to be sharing part one of a three-part series that we are doing this month on kind of just like mastering some of these vital processes that we do as coaches, these activities and skills that, I don't think any of us really came in knowing, but that we've learned and developed over time. And what's really cool, Alexa is going to be talking about inviting like a boss. And what's really cool is I think Alexa learned this from a Tommy Migrant training. Yeah. A Tommy Migrant training way back when. Most of you are probably like, Tommy who? Because I don't even know what Tommy Migrant is up to these days, but he's an old school coach that I love hearing him speak. He's a great speaker. He's spoken at multiple of my summits, but anyways, I don't know where Tommy is these days. But Tommy taught her this system and she's literally been doing it ever since, just super consistent, maybe tweaking the words a little bit, getting better and better at it. But more or less, she's been doing the exact same thing for 4 years now? 4 years now. So you guys, what's really cool is when you find your flow, when you find what works, you can just keep working it. Now, it might take some time. If you haven't found that flow yet, don't keep working what's not working for you. But take some notes from this call because I think it is going to help you guys a lot with just inviting with confidence and not feeling so intimidated by the word inviting, because it really shouldn't be scary. You have a gift to offer and to share with people. I think when you look at it from that perspective, it just shifts everything. So I am not going to spend too much time talking because I know Alexa put together an amazing presentation for us. So I am going to go ahead and just hand it over to Miss Alexa and you can do your thing, girlfriend.
Yay. Thank you so much, Lauren. Hi, everybody. I probably saw a lot of you guys last night on our other call that we hosted. But thank you guys so much for being on. I have a lot of great information to share with you guys tonight. So let's get into it. Let's just freaking get started, man. Side note, I'm still kind of getting over a cold, so I may need to take breaks to blow my nose and stuff like that. Being real, but thanks for being patient with me. Okay, really quick, can you guys see my screen? Is it full screen? Lauren, can you tell me? Can you see my slides? I can't see the chat box right now because it's full screen.
Yep, you're good.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, great. So tonight, you guys, our topic is going to be all about inviting like a boss. And like I said, I can't see the chat box, so I'll go through and answer your guys' questions afterwards. If you have questions, please ask them in the chat box. Lauren or other coaches can answer them, but I'll try and circle back with the questions, but I can't see the chat box right now. So go ahead and type in there. I hope that you guys all brought pen and paper. I have a lot of information, so let's get into it. To start off, I want to introduce myself. For those who don't know, my name is Alexa Luckenbach. I have been a coach for 4 years now. Gosh, that's crazy. I remember when I joined as a brand new coach and I heard about these other coaches that were in this for years, and I was like, holy crap, how do they do it? But man, if you just literally believe in our mission and see the vision long term with this, you guys, you'll become a lifer like this, for this, like I am. I'm honestly, I've gone through a lot of ups and downs. I hit 6-star diamond and elite in 2015. I've been a Beachbody Challenge winner, so I was a monthly Beachbody Challenge winner. I got $1,000. I won $1,000 for myself, $500 for my coach Lauren for my transformation, and I have helped hundreds of people get started on their journey. I actually wanted to go through and calculate, but I didn't have time to calculate how many Success Club points I've earned over the last 4 years, but I know for a fact the number is at least above 200 or 300 people that I've helped, I would say, off the top of my head. Not totally sure. But that being said, I'm not sharing that to brag. I'm sharing that because like Lauren said, I have been using the same exact process for inviting and talking to people that I did when I was a brand new coach before I even hit Emerald in my business, you guys. Okay. So like Lauren said, I really hope that this system just shows you, like, figure out your groove. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it, and just use the process in the system. That is literally all I have done over the last 4 years. I go through the exact same process. And so I'm going to be showing that to you guys tonight. And, if you've been on inviting calls with me, this is probably might be a refresher, but I know there's a lot of new people on the team, and I just think that this is going to be good for everybody. So I'm going to talk about 3 things. I'm going to touch on the first 2, and then we're going to really go into the 4 phases of effective inviting. But I'm going to talk a little bit about nurturing your network, finding the right people to invite, key inviting principles, a couple of things that are going to help you with, reframing inviting, like Lauren said. Like, looking at this is not something that should be intimidating, but as you going out there and sharing a gift with people, because that's truly what you're here to do. And then, like I said, I'm going to go really in depth with the 4 phases of effective inviting. So before we start, Shalene, she's just such a pretty person. Like, I just love this picture. She's so pretty. But anyways, like Shalene says, for those who don't know, Shalene Johnson, she's one of our super trainers. She's also like this business guru who, like, she's just an all-around amazing person. And she always says, smart people take notes. So I hope that you guys brought a notepad, pen and paper, whatever, and you are ready to take lots of notes on everything that I have for you, okay? So let's get into it. First part we're going to talk a little bit about is nurturing your network. And I wanted to share this little quote here with you guys because I thought that it was just really important to hit home. Inviting is the core activity that produces growth and rewards in your business. And it is through inviting that the most rewarding benefits of coaching are realized. Whether that is increasing your income or helping somebody better their life, it all starts with your decision to invite. So I really love this. I wanted to share it because I hear so many people say, like, I'm in this because I want to help people. I'm in, and whether you want to build an income with this business or if you're simply here because you want to help people, I don't care, it doesn't really matter. Both of those, results are going to come from inviting, right? It's an activity. Your results are going to stem from your activity. So you have to realize that if you're not inviting, you're not building a business, like, period, point blank. That's just a little bit of real talk, okay? So I hope that this kind of clears up the whole process for you a little bit. But you guys, the first thing to remember is that your network is literally your most valuable asset, okay? It's the most important thing that you have because we are in the business of helping people. So therefore, in order to help people, you need to talk to people, right? You need to build relationships with people. You need to meet new people, okay? So that is why your network is very crucial. And the more that your network grows, the more that your business has the potential to grow. I'm not going to say the more your business is going to grow, because your business is only going to grow if you're putting in the work and you're doing the invites and you're doing the vital behaviors. But if you make it a point to make sure that your network never growing your network and expanding your network is always something that's, part of your business activities, then, you're going to continue to grow the potential of your business. And along with that, it's not just about the numbers, but the more engaged you are with your network, the more responsive that they're going to be to your posts and your invites. So if you're somebody who's just trying to chase numbers and followers and you're not actually interacting or engaging or starting conversations or liking and commenting and interacting with your followers, then you're not, those numbers don't mean anything. Okay. So you have to be engaged and you have to work on increasing those numbers. It can't be one or the other, right? You can't be just like super engaged and really in it with the people that you have, but then not adding to your network, right? Because you're going to run out of people. And if you're just adding people, but not engaging, then you're just going to have all these numbers and nobody that's responding. So you've got to have both, okay? And you've got to start with what you have in your current network and then work on expanding from there, okay? So start with your warm market. And even for those of you who maybe have been coaches for months, I want you to go back and look at your warm market and see, have I truly reached out and, connected with everybody that I already have a relationship built with? For those who don't know, your warm market is basically people that you already know in your life. You already have some sort of relationship, whether it's your family, your friends, your coworkers, you know what I mean? So especially new coaches, you're going to start with your warm market. And that's because those are the people that already know you, they like you, they trust you. They're going to be more willing to invest and get started with you because they already have this relationship built. Whereas, strangers that you meet on Facebook or Instagram, they're probably going to be less likely to do so because they don't know you yet. Okay? So start with your warm network, but then remember that you have to continuously expand from there. It's imperative. Like, you have to be expanding your network. And I hope that this graph kind of shows you. So everybody starts over here, right? Like I said, as a new coach, you're starting right from the beginning, right? You don't have any challengers. You don't have any coaches. The majority of your challengers, when you begin, are going to come from your warm market, right? That's what this is. Your warm market are going to be the first people that you're going to get started. But as you go on, as you see, this is going to slowly go down because you only have so many people in your warm market. You're eventually going to get to the point where you have no more people to talk to and invite, right? So that is why you have to also at the same time be increasing your cold market, or just basically meeting new people. That's what that means. Meeting new people, adding them to your network, getting to know them, and then basically transitioning them over to your warm market. That's what you're doing. You're turning them from cold to warm market by just building a relationship with them, okay? So everyone starts here, but you need to go here. You need to tap into, other resources and reach outside of your network, because otherwise you're going to hit a spot where you're going to go boom and have nobody else to talk to or invite, okay? So I hope that this graph just kind of shows you the importance of expanding your network and realizing that it's something that you need to constantly be doing. Otherwise, you're going to run out of people to invite, and you're not even going to have anybody to talk to, okay? So like I said, I'm really touching on these first few things because I really want to get into the 4 phases of inviting. That's like the meat of this call. But I just wanted to touch on this and just make sure you guys know, okay? So make sure that you're expanding your network. I'm not going to go into how, because that's a whole other topic and subject in itself, okay? There's tons of trainings on expanding your network. You can go and look it up. Go to YouTube, type in Beachbody, how to expand your network. You'll literally get 12,000 hours of training videos to keep you occupied, okay? But let's dive in a little bit more into key inviting principles. And I think, like I said, these are the things that helped me reframe inviting so that it wasn't so scary. It wasn't so intimidating. And it was actually something that I wanted to go out there and do. Okay, so principle number 1 is intent matters more than technique. This basically means that what you say doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, it does. It does. And that's something that you're going to work on, and it's a skill that you're going to, improve upon. But at the end of the day, your heart and your soul matters more than what's coming out of your mouth. So what I'm trying to say is, if you have the intent in your heart to be here to just want to help other people get healthy, it doesn't matter if you fumble on your words or don't necessarily know the right things to say, because if your heart and your sincere intent is going to shine through. Okay, so I share this because I want you to remember, especially newer coaches or coaches that are just getting started. I know that fear of saying the wrong thing holds a lot of people back. Or maybe, you've already had a couple conversations, but they didn't go super well, so then you don't continue on, right? Like, don't let those things, like the wrong words or feeling like you're not going through the conversation the right way, hold you back from getting out there and actually taking action and having the conversations. Because at the end of the day, what the specific words and all that kind of stuff doesn't matter. If you're here to just truly want to share your message and want to help people get started on their journey, that's going to shine through. Okay, so make sure that you're coming from a genuine place, not just wanting to help people get started and sign up and join your group and earning money, right? Like, I'm sure none of you guys actually feel that way, but I'm just saying, like, if that was your intent, you really did just want to do this because you want to make money and earn a paycheck, that's going to come through in your conversations. Okay. So just remember this: sincerity will show, and that is what people respond to when they consider your invite. They respond to your sincere, the way you make them feel in your messages versus the specific words. Okay, so don't get so caught up in like, oh, am I saying the right thing or whatever? Like, of course, take everything that I'm sharing and work on your skills, because it's going to help you have better conversations. But at the end of the day, just lead with the heart and lead with your intent to just want to help people. And that's going to shine through in your messages, okay? So remember this too, that, and I get so many people who say, I don't want to be a salesperson. Like, I don't want to invite because I don't want to be salesy. Okay, well, you want to know how you sound salesy is when you get out there and you, like I said before, you don't have any intent whatsoever to truly want to help people. If you could have all the skills in the world and know all of the right things to say, but if you don't have that intent to truly just want to help, and, see what you're offering as a gift, and you're literally just want to sign people up so you can earn an income, that's how you're going to come across as a salesperson, just chasing those points and those numbers and those signups. Okay, so just remind yourself of that, you guys. Like, sit down and think, okay, why did I join this? Why do I love being a part of this? Probably because these programs have, helped you in some way, and just realize that you're literally just paying that feeling forward to somebody else. So I don't know, for me, I really feel like what's helped me not feel like a salesperson once has just been the fact that I know in my heart that these programs and products can change people's lives, because they've changed my life. And I truly just want to connect other people with that solution. That's the truth, like in the bottom of my heart. And so I lead with that in my messages. And, some people obviously not everybody's going to join, but I think that if you just make sure that you're leading with that heart in your messages, it's going to come through. Okay. So principle number 2, people are going to change for pain or gain. Okay. This is a really good one to remember, you guys, because what we're asking people to do is change. Make a big change, actually. Changing your eating and changing, your lifestyle is not an easy thing to do, right? Like, I'm sure all of you guys can agree, because we've all done it. Change is not easy, and every single change comes with a cost, whether that is a financial cost, whether that's emotional, whether that's convenience. Now you got to start waking up an hour earlier and getting a workout in instead of sleeping in and hitting snooze, right? Comfort. Or maybe it's a combination of all of these things, right? So that all of these reasons that I just shared, all these costs, are the reason why so many people resist making change. It's why people come up with excuses and ignore your messages and, whatever. It's because this cost is keeping them from wanting to take that step. Okay. So what's going to make them overcome that and see that this is worth it, basically, is that the pain of their current situation, right? So whatever is going on in their life has to get to a point where they're just sick and tired of it, or they see the potential that is going to come from joining your challenge group or your team, right? Those two things have to outweigh the financial cost, the emotional cost, the convenience, right? Does that make sense, you guys? So again, when people are telling you no, or people are, you're inviting people and they're ignoring you or whatever, you've got to realize that the majority of it has nothing to do with you, and it has to do with this stuff right here. Whether it's these people are talking to you and they want to change, but at this point in time in their life, the cost, whether it's financial, emotional, convenience, is too big for them. There's nothing you can do about that. You know what I mean? That person just has to get to a point in their life where their current situation is so, sorry for lack of a better word, shitty, that they realize they need to get up off their ass and do something about it, right? So there's nothing you can do. Those people have to get to that point on their own, right? Like when I started on my journey, I went through and I talked to Lauren for 3 months before I finally joined. And that was because I needed to go through those 3 months. And I finally got to that point after that 3rd month where the pain of my current situation and looking at myself in the mirror was just making me so depressed that I was over it. And I was like, fine, I'll do it. I will drop this $210 for this challenge pack, right? Let me just plug that. Yes, it was $210 for my T25 challenge pack. So I'm just saying $160 for all access is a freaking steal. But anyways, I dropped the $210, right? It wasn't even on sale anymore. That's the funny part, is I said no for months before when it was on sale. And then I got to the point where my pain was so hard that it didn't even matter that it wasn't on sale anymore. I paid that money because it was worth it to me to get out of my current situation. So just realize that, okay? You've got to help people get to that point in their lives themselves. And there's some things that you can do to kind of help them, lower this cost, right? And bring them to the right decision. But at the end of the day, like it comes down to them, and they have to be in that place themselves. So don't beat yourself up if you get no's, you guys. That's what I'm trying to say. You're going to get no's. You're going to get people rejecting you. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them and their current situation. So you've got to just plug into the process. Stop being emotionally attached to the results of any conversation that you're having with a person, and just plug in and just do it. You know what I mean? Do your business activities in and out consistently every day, and it will start to pay off. Okay. So let me just show you another little graph that kind of weighs this out. So when people start, there's going to be people who are not motivated, AKA the cost of getting started, right? So here's the cost. Boom. whatever the cost of the challenge pack or, that, convenience cost or whatever it is that's holding that person back is right here. And this is their motivation. So if they, and you just have to kind of show them and kind of help them outweigh the costs of, what they're giving up and show them that it's worth it for them. You know what I'm saying? So, cost of the need that they have or the goal that they want, right? So whether it's to lose, 15 pounds or to feel great about themselves on their vacation, or whether it's to get off of blood pressure medication or whatever, like that's got to get to a point where that is more important to them than the cost that it is to get started. Okay. And that's when people are going to be motivated to buy. So your goal is really just to kind of get people from down here and move them up here. And the way that you're going to do that is through asking a lot of questions. And that's what I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about. Okay, on the next principle. But just remember, your conversations need to focus on other people's needs and how our challenge groups are going to benefit them specifically. This is how you're going to help them see that the cost of joining is worth it, okay? So just remember that. Focus on what people need. Dig into what their struggles are and what they want to achieve. And if you're not digging deep enough, then you're not going to be able to outweigh that cost for them, okay? So digging deep, asking a lot of questions is the most important thing, which brings me to number 3, ask questions. So, and that's kind of what this whole, the 4 phases of inviting, I'm going to kind of go into the questions that you can ask and things, but you're going to use questions to help you in so many ways. Questions are your best friend, you guys. They help you find common ground with somebody. Maybe it's somebody that you just met in a Facebook group, or you met them in Target and started talking and added on Facebook or whatever. Or maybe it's somebody that you're catching up with. But you can ask questions to find common ground. How have things been going with the kids? Like how is your, your holidays, whatever. You know what I mean? Questions are going to help you find other people's needs. And you have to have their needs in order to make any sort of an invite to them, you guys. Okay? And I think that might be the missing piece to the puzzle for a lot of you, is that maybe you're just going out there and inviting without actually knowing if this is going to be beneficial for people. If you find out what people's specific needs are, it's going to be a lot easier for you to then invite and show them how these challenge groups and how joining your team are going to help them fulfill that need. And that's what helps them then see like, oh, wow, okay, so by joining this challenge group or by joining this team, it's going to help me overcome the struggle that I've had. And that's what's going to help them kind of come full circle and see that this is worth it. Okay, so questions are really imperative for finding out other people's needs. And it helps you understand their enthusiasm for the solutions that we've recommended, and helps you understand where they're at. Like, you know what I mean? It'll help you figure out, is this person really motivated and really ready to get started? Or is this somebody who maybe needs a little bit more time, go through their journey on their own before it's time for them to join, right? Not everybody's going to be ready right away. So questions will help you figure out who the people are that are ready. Okay, so let's get into the real main part of this call, okay? The 4 phases of effective inviting. This is really the system that I was talking about that I have used for 4 years to help hundreds of people month after month get started with, some sort of a solution. Honestly, the majority of what I get people started with is challenge packs. But I do get people started with other things, and I use this same process no matter what it is that I help somebody with, okay? But it's time to start reframing inviting, okay? So inviting is simply matching somebody's needs with the solution and then helping them make the decision to start, okay? So again, if you just are truly here to help people figuring out their issues or whatever they're trying to overcome, and you say, hey, I think I have something that can help you with this, you know what I mean? Like that's not scary for you to invite, because you know that this person is struggling with this thing. So you're just simply here to help them, right? It shouldn't be scary to offer a solution to somebody. That should feel good, right? Inviting is not about convincing anybody to do something that they do not want to do. If you're in convincing mode, if you feel like you're pulling teeth or trying to beg somebody to join, no. Back away from the conversation. Give that person some time to figure it out on their own. Circle back with them next month, whatever. But just understand that you're simply just here to help people with the solution, okay? And your job is just to ask the right questions and see if this is the right fit for them. If not, that's okay. There's lots of other ways that people can get healthy. This isn't the only solution. Your job is not to help everybody get started in a Beachbody Challenge group. Just, FYI. Your job is just to get this opportunity in front of people who could potentially need it so that they can see if this would be the right solution for them. Okay? There's a difference. So here are the 4 phases of inviting, okay? Step 1 is forming a relationship. Step 2, identify a need. Step 3, share information and get feedback. And then step 4 is to assume success. And then you're going to, throughout the entire, all 4 phases, you're going to be continuously following up. I'm going to talk about all of these a little bit more in depth with you guys. So first off, let's talk a little bit about inviting your warm market, right? Like I talked to you guys at the beginning about how your warm market is really going to be the first people that you're going to start off with. And your warm market is kind of a little exception to this inviting process because these are people that you already have a relationship built with, right? So if you look at this, right, like number 1, step 1 is form a relationship. Well, you've already kind of gone through and with your warm market, you already have a relationship formed, okay? So this is specifically for the people that you know very well. Phases 1 and 2 of the inviting process may not be necessary for you, okay? Now, this all depends on the person, but you may be able to just reach out to people and go right into phase 3, which is sharing information and giving them feedback, okay? And the most important thing to remember in all of your conversations is to just talk to people like you're their friend and just share your genuine excitement about what it is that you have to offer. So new coaches, especially for all the new coaches that are on the call right now, that you're starting with your warm market, you're starting with the people that you're talking to. This is going to be important for you because this is going to be how you're going to kind of get the ball rolling with your business. So you can see this message over here. Jane, I don't know if you've seen my post, but I'm starting a new gig as a fitness coach. Eek! I'm looking for a few ladies that want to join my first group and I thought of you. Can I send you some more information? Okay, so as you can see, this is literally just saying, hey, I don't know if you've seen, I'm getting started as a coach. I'm looking for people that want to join my very first group, and I just wanted to reach out and see if you might be interested. It's that simple. And with people that are in your warm market, because you already have a relationship formed, you don't necessarily need to go through all of the, I mean, of course, if you haven't talked to them maybe in a minute, be like, hey, how have you been? Catch up with them. But then don't be afraid to just pull the trigger and invite with your warm market is what I'm trying to say, okay? Just get out there and say, hey, I just want to let you know I'm starting this thing and I'm looking for some people that want to get healthy. Like, do you want to do this with me? Reach out to your cousin, your aunt, your, your like people in your family, your mom, your sisters, your sorority sisters, college friends, your coworkers, people, whatever, what I mean? You can even use a memory jogger. If you go into the back office, type in search memory jogger, you can get a memory jogger to kind of help you come up with ideas, but literally everybody that you already have a relationship formed with. I know that this might be a little scary, but just get out there and invite. Be like, hey, I'm getting started. I'm doing this new thing, and I'm just looking for some new people that want to do this. And if they say, no, I'm not interested, that's fine. Ask them if maybe they know some people who are trying to get healthy right now and see if they can help you with finding your first few people to join your group, okay? But I wanted to just kind of talk about the warm market first because it's kind of an exception to this whole rule. You can kind of skip through the first 3 phases and don't be afraid to just pull the trigger and invite them. This also will kind of warm you up to the whole inviting process because, like I said, these are people that you already know. They know you in real life. They know you're not a freaking scam artist or salesperson. They know who you are. So don't be afraid to just let them in on this new amazing awesome thing that you're doing, and let them know that you just want to help them and pull the trigger and invite. Okay, does this make sense? Again, not like I can see any of your chats. I'll check at the end of the call, but I hope that this makes sense about inviting your warm market. Okay, but when you start working with people that you don't know very well, you guys, and that includes people that maybe you used to know really well, but you've fallen out of contact with them, haven't talked with them in a while, you definitely need to make sure that you go through all 4 of the inviting phases. You can't skip through any of them, okay? So let's go through and talk about the phases. So phase 1 is form a relationship, okay? You need to find common ground and establish a relationship before anything else, okay? Again, this is just going to help show your intent to this person, okay? So by forming a relationship first, it's just showing that you're not there to just, come in and, like I said, sell all the challenge packs and just get points and people on the board, right? Like, you really should have a relationship formed before inviting anybody that you don't know very well, okay? With your warm market, you already have that foundation, okay? So that's why it's okay to go through and just pull the trigger and invite right away. With your cold market, you need to use some good questions to find that common ground and get to know people first. So I've giving you a couple of examples and ways that you can reach out and start a conversation with people, okay? So let's start with people that you know already, okay? In your market, family, friends, coworkers. This is just asking them about their life. Ask them how they're doing. Reconnect. How's the family doing? I saw that you went on vacation in Mexico. How was it? Where'd you guys stay? You know what I mean? Like, be genuinely interested in their life. If it's a person that you know, chances are you know what's going on. Like, oh, I know that Susie had her dance rehearsal 2 weeks ago. Like, how did that go? You know what I mean? Like, just be a genuine friend to them. Maybe there is people that you know but not very well, like acquaintances, or maybe like more distant coworkers that you're not really friends with, but you work with and you see them every day. You can do something like, hey, I saw a post that you did on Facebook and, I just wanted to catch up. How have you been? Or, again, you can use their Facebook posts or the things that they're sharing on their wall or whatever to start a conversation. So maybe they talk about how they just checked out a new restaurant. Just checked out this new place. So delicious. Me and the hubby went on date night. Cool. Use that as an opportunity to start a conversation and build a relationship. Hey, I just saw that you went to XYZ, restaurant. It's been a bit since we talked, but I just saw your post and wanted to connect. Like, how was it? I've been thinking of, trying to find some new places to check out with my husband as well. You know what I mean? Like, use, their Facebook posts to kind of trigger a way for you to start a conversation. Or, you can just go through and, like I said, just go through and start those conversations. I saw you came up on my timeline and I just started, I just was thinking about you. How have things been? You know what I mean? People that you don't know. Okay. So, but that you reach out to. So maybe this is people that I'm in this third column right here. So you guys know, maybe these are people who friend requested you, but you don't necessarily know who they are. So you can, the way that you can easily start a conversation with these people is saying, hey, actually, this one's worded a little bit weirder, but you could say like, hey, thanks so much for the friend request. I really appreciate it. How did you, find my page if somebody friend requests you? Or again, if you friend request somebody yourself and they accept, say, hey, thanks so much for accepting my friend request. I saw your posts in, Harry Potter fan club and, I just love making new friends, whatever. Start a conversation that way. Or you can just say, hey, I saw your post and wanted to say thanks for sharing that. So again, if people are sharing certain things on their timeline, like, use that as an opportunity to start conversations and say, oh, I just saw that your post that you did about that new book you're reading. Thanks so much for sharing that. I've been looking for something, new to read, whatever, like, I know that we, continue on, just be a regular person, have a conversation with somebody. Okay. And then people that you don't know who contact you. These are people who are maybe like following you, following your page or your, or your Instagram profile or something, and they reach out and say, hey, saw you posting about this challenge group thing. What is this all about? Those are obviously the easiest, right? Because then you can kind of go right into it and say, thanks for reaching out. I love getting to know some new friends. I would love to share some more information about this group. Like, first off, I'd love to get to know you a little bit more. Tell me about yourself. I do that with people who reach out to me, and if I don't know them very well, I just say, like, first off, like, tell me about you. Why are you interested in this? Like, whatever. And people will usually kind of open up and share a little bit more. But these are just some ideas on how you can kind of start conversations with people no matter how, where you're at as far as the relationship goes with them. I hope that makes sense. Okay. But you need to form a relationship. Start talking with people, connect with them about something, so some sort of common ground. Okay. And then the next part is you're going to identify a need. So again, don't overthink this whole, going from building a relationship to identifying the need. This is, I think, where a lot of people, again, struggle, is you just sit there and you talk about the weather and your dog for 3 months with somebody, but you never really get to like the nitty gritty and get them into a challenge group or talk about health and fitness. Okay. So this is how you're going to identify a need, is by focusing on what you know about that person and why joining a challenge group or coaching would be a benefit to them. You're having conversations with people, you need to keep your ears open for those potential things that they might tell you that can give you a reason to think that this would be a good fit for them. Okay. So keep the discussion simple by letting them know that you think you have something that would benefit them, but you want to make sure that it's the right fit first. Okay. So again, maybe people tell me something about how, they are going on vacation, or they have no time for themselves. And so, they've been so busy, or maybe they're struggling financially. That's always, if they tell me that, money's been tight or whatever. And so that's a good opportunity for me to then offer the coaching opportunity, because they can earn some income while working on themselves, right? Like, listen to these little cues and pain points and things, because this is what's going to help you be like, oh, wow, okay, she just said that she's going, on a cruise in 3 months, and she's really excited about it. Like, maybe joining a challenge group would be great, because then she could start working on her health, focusing on herself before her vacation, and feel really good when she goes on her cruise. You know what I mean? So, like, you need to find that need first. Dig in with people. And you know what I mean? Like, just if you don't have that, you're not going to have anything to offer, right? You have no leverage, because you don't know their need. Then why are they going to want to join? Okay. So figure out what that need is. And then when you do figure out what that is, that's when you're going to just kind of transition and say, hey, I think that I have something that could be a benefit to you, and I just want to see if it would be, the right fit. So, and again, another way that you can find people's needs is look at their Facebook posts, right? Like, do they complain about how they haven't been fitting into their jeans? Like, I see it all the time, people complaining about their health on social media, or you know what I mean? Just like not feeling, their best about themselves, whatever. So say, hey, I saw your post yesterday, and I have you on my mind since then. I'm starting up this fitness boot camp next week that I think could help you a lot, but I wanted to make sure before I recommend it if it would be a good fit. Do you have a couple minutes to chat? You know what I mean? Like, something like that. Like, you don't need to say, like, go into all of the details. Just say, hey, I have something that I think would be good, it'd be a good fit for you, and I'd love to just see if it would be right. Would you, have a couple minutes to chat? It's that simple, okay? Keep it really simple, you guys. Okay? So then you're going to use questions that are going to help you, again, figure out their need, figure out why, why this goal or whatever it is that they're trying to achieve, why it's important to them, and figure out, what are the things that have happened to them in the past that have kept them from going for their goals. This is when you're really going to start saying, like, okay, so, this is when you've offered the challenge group, right? Like, that's what this transition means, is you're saying, hey, I have challenge group, or I have this opportunity that I think would be a good fit for you, but I want to see if it, I just want to ask you a couple of questions first. So these questions are going to be all surrounded around that person's need or their goal that they said that they want to achieve. Okay. So your questions are really going to go and kind of surround that and help you dig deep and figure out, the deeper reasons for why this is important, because when you can dig deep with people and figure out, why it is that they want to overcome this struggle that they've been dealing with, that's when that's when that cost is going to become not as big of a factor. Does that make sense? So again, and I'll have this presentation, I'll upload it into the team page, so you guys have all these slides, so you don't have to like write all these questions and things down. But I just want to like show you some example questions that you can go through and ask people to help them dig deep and figure out what their goal is, but also why it's important. So, from a health and fitness standpoint, like, what are you facing right now? What are some struggles that you have right now when it comes to getting healthy, when it comes to eating right, when it comes to working out? Why is, losing 10 pounds important to you? You know what I mean? If somebody says, well, I want to lose weight, like, that's the thing that a lot of people like to say. I want to lose 10 pounds. Okay, great. But why? Why is this a goal? Why 10 pounds? How is this impacting you? What is having this extra weight on your body doing for you right now? Is it making you feel sluggish, tired, like you can't keep up with your kids? You know what I mean? Like, dig out all of these specific reasons with people. Who is this impacting in your life? Again, is it impacting your family? Is it impacting your work because you can't, stay awake because you have no energy because you're fueling your body with McDonald's for 3 meals a day? You know what I mean? And then start talking about the vision. Like, what would success with this look like for you? Like, how amazing would it feel if you did lose that 15 pounds? Or, you did drop, 2 sizes at the end of one round of 80-day obsession. You know what I mean? Like, how great would that feel? What has stopped you from succeeding in the past? Like, what have been some struggles in the past when you've tried to achieve this goal? So these are just some sample questions. The specific questions themselves, you guys, are not necessarily like, again, don't get caught up in the words. Look at the purpose behind it. Look at the message behind the message, okay? You know, you can take these specific questions. Honestly, like, I like to ask, the way that I word it is, you know, how are you doing right now as far as your eating and, you know, / nutrition and fitness goes right now? What kind of support do you have at home? Why is this goal important to you? Right? Like, none of those are necessarily written out right here, but they all kind of do the same thing. They help me dig deep with that person and figure out what it is that they're struggling with, okay? You need to do that. You need to kind of do that nitty-gritty soul searching with this person, because that's what's going to help you be more effective in showing them the value of what we have to offer, okay? The idea is to know how you can help somebody before you try to help somebody. Okay, let me say that again. The idea is to know how you can help somebody before you try to help somebody. So if you're going in and you're just inviting and you're just having conversations, but you don't even really truly know how this is going to benefit that person, that's a red flag. You need to backtrack in your conversation and dig deeper with that person. Okay? So now let's do a transition from phase 2 to phase 3. You're asking them questions, you're digging deep. So now this is when you are going to kind of basically reiterate their goals to them. I think this is such an important part of this process because, again, if you're digging deep and finding these specific reasons for why they want to join, and then for you to speak that back to them and reiterate these goals and remind them of why they want to do this, is only going to help them show that the value of what you have to offer is going to outweigh that cost that's keeping them back from joining, right? So restate whatever it is that they've said to you. So that, once again, Miley, stop. You're communicating your intent to them. And of course, ask them if, you know, if there's anything else that you missed when you were asking them those questions, okay? Miley, stop. So say, thank you so much for sharing all the information. It really helps me get a better idea of where you're at. Just to make sure I understand, what I heard you say is that you aren't feeling great about yourself right now. It's bringing you down, and you want to start feeling great in time for your cruise in March. Did I miss any important goals? You know, or did I miss anything? Okay. Oh my gosh, my dog. Sorry. Hold on 1 second, you guys. Miley. Go. Sorry, guys. So just to reiterate those goals to them, because that's just gonna, like I said, it's gonna just continuously be a reminder to them of why they want and need to do this with you. Okay. And then phase 3. So you've gone through, you've formed a relationship, you found that need. Okay, you've dug in with a person, you've had a conversation, you've formed a relationship, you found a need, you've asked them some questions to see if the solution would be right for them. And now phase 3 is sharing the information and getting feedback. Okay, so this is where you're literally offering the solution. Okay, so some things to remember. Focus on how it solves their need. Focus on what's in it for them. Focus on your prospect. That's the most important thing. Talk about the benefits and tie it back to whatever it is that they're specifically wanting to achieve or whatever they're specifically struggling with. Make it sound effective and fun, of course. Encourage them and share your experience and results. This is something that I do a lot. I was telling Lauren that I love to share before and after pictures, transformations, when I offer the information to people. So that it just, again, just shows the potential, and it kind of shows them, wow, okay, like if this person could do it, I can too. So when going through and sharing the information, don't try to prove to them that they should buy this. Again, if you're in convincing mode, like, this person is not ready. So don't overwhelm them with tons of information and features and all of that. We call that word vomit, right? Like, don't overwhelm people with too much stuff. I'll show you kind of how I don't overwhelm people. Don't debate, right? And don't add pressure. Those are pretty, like, straightforward, but I just have to remind you of that, because it can be easy. Sometimes in conversations, you just want to help somebody so bad that, you want to kind of fight them about it, about joining, about why they need this. And you might know that, they could truly benefit from this, but don't debate or fight people about it, because they have to come to that realization themselves. So how do you share the information in a way that's not overwhelming? Use third-party tools. I love to use videos to do the talking for you, okay? The reason is because, you guys, for me to list out all of the benefits of whatever solution it is that I'm offering to people in an email, like just in a bulleted list, versus them seeing with their eyes all the, all these challenge packs, like what comes with it. Seeing the workout, a little snip of the workout, seeing the portion control containers, seeing Shakeology, people's results, right? Like the videos are going to just give so much more information in a more succinct way, right? Like it's usually only 4 minutes long that these videos are. But Beachbody has put so much time and work into creating these really great videos. Freaking use them. You know what I mean? Like they're going to share the information so much better than you just trying to sit there and list it all out in an email or a message. Okay. So I get my videos. You can either go to the Coach Online office. If you click on Grow My Business and then click on Shareable Media, that is where all of the videos are. So you can copy any of the videos. There's links for every single program video out there. So you can look in the Coach Online office, or what I do, which is really easy, is I just use YouTube. I'll literally go Beachbody, all access challenge pack, and then I'll use the video link that's from the Beachbody YouTube account, or I'll do 80-day obsession Beachbody, search that in YouTube, send the video. Okay. So, but use videos to give the information. Don't feel like you need to sit there and list it all out, or feel like you have to give all of the nitty-gritty details. Okay. So, it's really simple. Be like, awesome. Okay. So this is how I offer the information. I say, I really think that this, all access challenge pack is going to be the best fit for you. I give them like a really like 1 sentence long little snippet. I think it's going to be great because it's going to give you a solution for your fitness, which I know you need to work on. And it's going to give you a really simple plan for your eating, which I know is something that you've struggled with in the past. I actually have a really great video that is going to break down this challenge pack for you a little bit more, tell you everything that it comes with. If I sent it over, would you have 3 minutes to watch it? That's what I say, okay? And I let the video do the talking. I don't send a ton of information, you guys, okay? That is when you then will kind of figure out, when can this person watch the video? If they say, yeah, I can watch it right now, awesome. Send them the link to the video, and then check in with them maybe in 10, 15 minutes, see what they think. Or maybe they're like, oh, I'm at work right now, but I can tonight after I put the kids down. Then I say, awesome, okay, so I can send you the link now, and then I'll check back in with you maybe tomorrow morning and see what you think. Does that sound good? And they say, yeah, awesome, cool. Then you're just going to check back in with them the next morning, like you said, and see what they think of the video. Okay. So I just set up a time for them to watch, and then I just circle back, like I said. But the videos are really going to be helpful, you guys. And they've only gotten better. I think that they've really actually gotten so much better at making the videos less infomercial-y and more, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you've seen some of the more recent challenge pack videos and different videos that they have, but I just think that they've just gotten even better. So use them, okay? I have been using these videos. I've been sending videos for 4 years. Any of my coaches that are on the team right now can attest that whether you started as a challenger or as a coach, I probably sent you a video, right? Of some sort. So use them. Let that stuff do all the nitty-gritty talking. And then, of course, you're just going to follow up and get feedback. Hey, did you get a chance to watch that video I sent over? What did you think? Do you see this as something that's going to help you with getting on track for your cruise and feel amazing for your vacation, right? Like, just simply check in with them and see what they thought, okay? And really, you guys, it's really simple. If you get a positive response, if they're like, yes, I'm so ready, like I loved it, this really looks like something that I want to do, awesome. Move on to phase 4, which is basically going to be kind of wrapping them up, getting them started. Or if they're like, I don't know, I don't know if this would be the right fit for me, or I'm just, I can't afford a challenge pack right now, or they give you some sort of an excuse, whatever, you can, number 1, ask some questions and figure out, okay, or maybe they're not even giving you a specific reason. Maybe they're like, I don't know, they're just kind of beating around the bush. Dig in deep. So what did you like about it? What is holding you back from maybe jumping in with this? Or what's not appealing to you about it or something? You know what I mean? And then based on their answer, you can either, number 1, help them overcome any hesitations that they have for the program that you already recommended and move forward. Or, recommend another solution. Maybe the first thing that you offered isn't the right fit for them. That's okay. We have so many freaking different solutions to offer people. So do not take the first no or the first hesitation or rejection as, oh, I can't help this person, okay? Find something that might work better for them and meet them where they're at, okay? this is something that I think, again, a lot of coaches struggle with, is that you get that no when you offer a challenge pack, and then you just feel super defeated, and you just don't, you just say, okay, well, no problem, I'll check in with you next month. Like, why not offer something different that's going to meet that person where they are? I actually did this with 2 separate people today that I talked with about joining 80-Day Obsession. They just weren't ready for it yet, but they want to work on their nutrition first. 2 separate people that really wanted to work on nutrition. So you know what I did? I'm getting one of them set up with Portion Fix and Shakeology, and then another one of them is starting off with a 14-day trial. And I think that we're actually not 14-day trial. Excuse me. We're going to do Clean Week. So she's going to do Clean Week and get Shakeology and going to try it out first. Okay, so we have so many different options. And if you're a new coach and you're like, well, I don't know all the options, I really recommend that this is why you should, number one, make sure that you jump into our new Coach Academy that starts on Monday, and so you can learn about all the options that we have, become more confident with offering them. But number 2, just know the products and the things that we have, right? Like, you don't need to know the ins and outs of every single freaking program, but some really important ones to know about are the 14-day trial, Clean Week, Portion Fix. These are all lower investment, but they're going to get people's foot in the door, and you can then help them where they're at and kind of go from there. Okay. So I just see this so many times that people get discouraged because they hear the no with the challenge pack and they just don't go any further. I'm like, no, that's a huge solution for you to offer something else. And chances are, hey, here's another great example. I just sold a challenge pack today, somebody that's getting started with All Access challenge pack. You know how she started? She told me no for months about joining, and then I started her off with Clean Week. And so she did Clean Week for a week. Took her a couple months to commit, but now she's just got started with All Access, right? So I really think that you got to just meet people where they're at. Some people are ready to jump in head first. Some people need to take baby steps. And what's so awesome is I cannot freaking wait until we have, number 1, we have updated Portion Fix. Portion Fix is going to come with videos now on Beachbody On Demand. It's going to come with an app. So really, Portion Fix in itself is going to be a really great kind of beginner intro program for people to kind of get their foot in the door with nutrition. Same with 2B Mindset. That's going to be another program that's coming out this year that's really focused on people's mindset around eating and nutrition. So I'm really excited to offer those solutions to kind of get people's foot in the door before even offering fitness to them. You know what I mean? That's how a lot of people need to start, is let me just focus on my eating and get that under control, and then I can work on my fitness. Okay. So anyways, I'm getting on a tangent, but I just want to nail home that, challenge packs are not the only option. Yes, I believe they're the best option and solution that we have because it gives people started with everything. However, it's not the only solution. It's not the end all be all. So don't let a no to a challenge pack be an end to that conversation with that person. Okay? I need to take some water really quick. Hold on. Okay, so last phase. I'm trying to go through this as quick as I can. I know that we're kind of getting close to the hour mark here. I want to ask or see if anybody has questions, but almost done. So the last phase is assuming success. This basically means talking to your prospect like they've already made the decision to join. Again, this is all just about you building your confidence in your language and in your messages. I remember Lauren told me, I remember way back, when I was first starting off as a coach, first started having conversations, and I remember I sent her a message. I was like, I'm inviting my first person to join my team. What do you think about this? And she was like, you sound really not confident whatsoever. You're using pretty weak language. You know what I mean? You need to change some words around here. And I remember she totally called me out, but I'm so glad she did because it's the truth. You need to just assume a success. Fake that confidence if that's what you need to do. But it really makes a difference. So here's an example of not assuming success. Okay? You can say, great, sounds like a challenge pack is a good fit. So I just want to make sure you don't feel like I'm giving you any kind of pressure to buy it. It's totally your choice. So if you want some time to think about it, that's totally fine with me. You can get back to me, right? That's not assuming success. That's assuming that this person has issues with the challenge pack or has issues with the cost or something. And you know what I mean? I think that this is definitely weak language, as you can see. Whereas this is an example of assuming success. Great. This sounds like a great fit for you. I know you're going to love it, and I'm excited to work with you. So let me send over the link, and I will help you get started. This is definitely how I talk. I say, yes, you're in. Let's do it. So here, let me get you set up with the link and we will get you going. I will send over, I'll even like kind of tease some things that they'll get once they sign up. I'll say, as soon as you get started, I'm going to send you the welcome email and get you plugged into our challenge group, right? Like I'm just assuming they're going to join. And I really think that this helps, again, with the confidence and lowering the pressure. And you guys, if they don't want to join or if they have questions or hesitations, they're going to tell you. So you have nothing to lose to assume success and just speak confidently when you're wrapping up your conversations with people. Does that make sense? Okay, and so lastly, and of course, you know, the next steps are going to be send them the link, get them started, and boom, there you go. And so, of course, we need to talk about following up because that needs to happen all throughout this process, okay? I'm going to go over it really briefly. But as you're working through all phases of inviting, you need to be following up frequently throughout the entire process, not just at the end, okay? In fact, 80% of most sales made happen after the third contact, okay? And that's not just like with Beachbody, that's just like sales in general. It's a statistic that most times people need to be contacted 3 times before they commit. So if you just start a conversation and talk to people and don't circle back on the conversation with them, you're losing out on an opportunity, okay? Don't worry if they don't say yes right away or if they don't respond. That is part of the process, and that's why you need to make sure that you're following up. So some different scenarios for following up is you're helping somebody make a decision to start, okay? So just be there to answer their question. Say, hey, I've got that group that we spoke about starting soon. I've still got that spot for you, and I'm pumped to help you get those results we spoke about. Have you thought more about getting started with us, okay? So maybe you've offered the solution, you know, the conversation went quiet. This is a great way to kind of restart the conversation again. Reestablish, re-engage, or reaffirm the relationship. Again, so if maybe a conversation has gone totally quiet, you can say, hey, I just saw something on Facebook today about blah, 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 and it reminded me of you. I hope you're doing well, and we can catch up again soon. So again, maybe this is somebody who you've invited several times or something, and they have been ignoring you. You could do something like this. It kind of just takes the pressure off. Helps you just be like, hey, guess what? I'm not offended that you're not wanting to join right now or you're not ready. Just know that I'm here for you. And that, again, just shows your intent, and it shows people that you're here to just simply help them. And that, you know, they'll most likely come and join you when they're ready in the future. And then, again, just keeping your commitment to people. Saying, hey, I just got that reminder to touch base with you again about our challenge group. Were you able to talk things over with your spouse? Or were you able to watch that video that I sent over, right? Like, let people know, awesome, okay, I'm going to check in with you on XYZ day, and then just check in with them when you said you would. That kind of helps take the pressure off of following up. But really, you guys, like all throughout the process, if at any point a conversation kind of starts to die off, I'll use one of these type of messages to kind of get things going. And again, if people just continue to ignore my follow-up messages, that's obviously a sign to me that they're not ready, and that's fine. And I will just circle back with that person next month and say, hey, it's been a while since we've talked. You know, how has your progress been since we, you know, had our last conversation? Maybe they'll ignore you again. Maybe they'll finally be ready. You never know. But just check in with them next month and kind of go from there. Okay? So finally, just a couple little things about inviting. Do not take it personally. Okay? I see this, again, with so many coaches and so many new coaches is people ignore you or say no or, you know, whatever, and they just take it to heart so much. And just realize, you guys, it does not have much to do with you. Most likely it has to do with whatever is going on with them, whether they're not ready yet to get started, they have personal things going on, okay? So don't take it too personally. Don't be emotionally attached to the end result of your conversation, okay? Other people's decisions are not your responsibility, and they're not in your control. All you can control is how many people that you're getting this in front of and how many people that you're inviting, okay? So focus on that and not the outcome. And if you've done your part to try and help them, don't be hard on yourself, okay? Most likely people that you're inviting now are going to come around at a later time. So just keep chugging, keep moving forward, okay? And remember, too, that every time that you're inviting, you're gaining in experience and skills that are going to make you more effective. So really, there's all invites, whether it turns out well or not, it's all going to be practice, and it's helping you develop your skills. And that's a win. So just remember these things, okay? Okay, you guys. Holy shit, 43 slides. I told you I had a lot of information. But let me exit here. Let me get out of screen share. So do you guys have any questions for me? Let me stop the screen share really quick. I'm sure the chat box has been like blowing up. So let me go through and see. And if anybody has any like specific questions and I don't ask them, you can unmute yourself. I'm going to upload the slides, Gab. So I'll upload the slides into the team page so you guys can go through and look at this presentation because I know there's a lot of information on there. Okay. So let me go through. So about how long does this inviting process happen for you? There is no specific timeline. I go through, some people can come to me and we start a conversation and I can get them set up with a challenge pack next week. And then for some people, you know, it takes a while and I have to continuously follow up with them and then I have to check in with them next month. And then, you know what I mean? It's like there's no specific timeline. I just think it's important to make sure that you're continuing the conversation, you're continuously following up with people and doing what you can. And there's no real definite length, I guess, for this process. Does that make sense? It just comes down to whether that person is ready and how on top of it you are with going through the process and having the conversation and asking them questions. Does that make sense? How are you sharing all the options for 80-day obsession? Oh, I asked about, but I thought I would put it down here too. Okay, great question. And actually, I was going to talk about this and I totally forgot to mention it. Because Lauren asked me, because I got somebody started with a mega challenge pack, which I was super pumped about. You know, those are the higher investment challenge packs, like $440. And so I wanted to show how I have been laying out the options for you guys. Hold on, I'm literally pulling up my email really quick just so that you can see. Normally I don't do it this way. Like I said, normally and of course with all these people, I'm still sharing the videos. I'm going to share my screen really quick. Normally I wouldn't lay out all the information like this, but this is an exception because it's 80-day obsession. It's a new program launch. It's January. It's a new year, right? Like there's all of these factors coming together and 80-day obsession is like a really big event and a really big deal. I don't normally lay out all the info, but because it was the new year and it was boot camp and it was a new program launch, all these things kind of together, I wanted to make sure that everybody has all of the options for the challenge pack. So you can see here, option 1, mega challenge pack. I gave them the price right off the bat. And I listed it out here for people so that they know. Option 2, here's the combo challenge pack, and then option 3 is the basic. And it's just all, the things that comes with it. And I say, what option sounds best for you? So this is how I'm laying out the options for 80-day obsession specifically. And like I said, I normally don't do that. I don't normally have it all listed out. So I know that kind of goes against everything that I just shared, but 80-day obsession was a special circumstance. How many emails had you sent prior to this? So before this, this is a person who had sent or applied to join my challenge group. So what I did was I emailed her, thank you so much for reaching out. I would love to give you more information about the challenge group. First off, can you tell me a little bit more information about how you're doing right now with your eating and nutrition? She emailed me back, she gave me some info, told me where she was at, she told me her needs and her struggles, basically. And then I responded and I said, awesome, I really think this would be a good fit for you. Here's a video. Check this out. Let me know what you think. And we'll go from there. So then that's when I sent her the video. And then after she got back to me, she said, this looks great. I really think this is what I need. It's got the guidance that I need for my nutrition. And then that's when I offered her the free solution. So there was only 1, 2, 3, 4 emails before this, but that's because she went through and she came to me. So it's a little bit different. I didn't go through the whole relationship building too much because she came to me wanting to get information about it. Does that make sense? Yeah, so there were still 4 emails back and forth. But yeah, okay, so hold on, let me go through and see. I hope that makes sense, you guys. So what did you do if after Clean Week she didn't want to buy? I'm working with someone right now who's not yet ready to buy, so added her to Clean Week, but now trying to figure out what to do next. So just support them through Clean Week, right? Like whether you have a specific challenge group or not, support them and help them get the best results with Clean Week. Send them some Shakeology ideas. Make sure you go through the nutrition plan. I like to have calls with my challengers if possible. I leave it up to them to set it up with me, so that they can kind of come to me and get it all set up, and then I can go through and show them the nutrition plan and all that. But really just help them get great results with Clean Week, and then follow up with them at the end and say, okay, awesome. Like, what did you think of Clean Week? What did you think of Shakeology? You know, do you want to continue on? I have a new group starting this day. Do you want to join? And if they're ready, awesome, get them started. If not, you know what I mean? Just continue to help them where they're at. Okay. What do you do when they don't actually watch the video, even when you follow up with them? So if I send somebody the video, I check back in and I say, hey, did you watch the video? If they ignore me, I check in again and I say, hey, just want to check in again, see if you got a chance to watch that video. If they ignore me again, I follow up again. Hey, just want to circle back one more time. Did you get a chance to watch that? Are you still interested in joining the challenge group? Okay, I follow up with them like 3 or 4 times. And if they just keep ignoring me, that's when I will say, okay, awesome, I'll put them on my list for next month. I don't have anybody who just says like, no, I didn't watch the video. Either they watch it or they tell me like, oh, I haven't watched it yet. And if they say I haven't watched it yet, okay, then I'll set a new time to follow up with them. Okay, great. When can you watch it? Tonight? Awesome. I'll check with you tomorrow morning. Okay, does that help? I just keep following up and asking them. And if they just keep ignoring me, that's when I just set a time to chat with them next month. Okay? I'm going through the questions really quick one more time. Let's see, hold on. And if I have anything, okay, no, I didn't see any other questions. So is there anything else, you guys? Like, again, I know that this is really long, but again, like, this is the most important bio behavior. It's really hard to talk about inviting really in depth in under an hour. But I hope that this was still really helpful in really breaking down the process. So you guys literally, like, this is how I go through every single one of my conversations. I always know what I'm going to say next because I literally use this as a blueprint for my conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go through the same process. Build a relationship, find out people's needs, find out what you think that would be the best offer for them, send them a video, circle back with them, assume success, and get them started. You know what I mean? Do you have these saved as templates in your Gmail? Do you mean my 80-day obsession options? Is that what you mean? Canned responses. Well, here, I can just show you, or do you mean just like all messages in general? Or are you?
I'm just saying, like, I would just mention that you use canned responses because you're using the same message over and over again. Canned responses is not mentioned, and some of them might not know what that is.
Good call. Yes, let me share my screen actually and show you really quick. So yes, I use templates in my email. I'm an email person. I have been from the beginning. I can't do Facebook messages, even DMs. I have to get people over to my email. So this works for me personally. What I really love about emails too is that you can save templates for your emails, okay? So whether you do it through canned responses, right? You can set up canned responses over here, which here, let me minimize this so people can see on the recording. You can install this on your Gmail, and it's basically just saves a bunch of different like email templates. Or if you have Google Streak, you can save snippets. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing, just email templates. But yes, as you can see here, you guys, I have templates for like everything because I am saying the same thing over and over again because I go through the same process with everybody. So you can see I have different follow-up messages. Like it's a little template, and I literally just hit it, and then boom, it goes right there into the email. Of course, I'll usually go through and tweak this so that it sounds like I'm actually, you know what I mean? Like I make it personal to that person, but this definitely makes it a lot easier. So welcome emails for my new coaches, my new challengers. I have all of those saved as templates. I have my follow-ups. I have progress check-ins, right? Progress check-in. I have different versions of that here. Like you can see, I have like a billion different versions because I tweak them and depending on, you know, the time of year, or the time of the month, or whatever. But I save all of this stuff and just save it as templates just to kind of make it a little bit easier for myself. But I love using templates. It definitely makes your life a lot easier. Thanks for bringing that up, Lauren. Especially if you're, and you can do it as easy as just keeping these things in a note on your phone. If you're somebody who works from your phone a lot. Like I said, I use email, and I usually like to do my messages on a computer, so I have it in my email. But you could just save your messages in a note on your phone if you're having a lot of conversations on the fly. Are there any other, or Google Doc, yes, anywhere really that you can just pull things up really easily and save your messages. Like basically don't continuously reinvent the wheel. Like, you're going to you waste a lot of time sending the same messages over and over. So might as well keep them in templates for yourself. Are there any other questions, you guys? Anything else that I didn't talk about or that you need clarification on? Anything that I missed about the whole process or any of the steps or anything? No? Okay. I hope that this wasn't too much information. There was actually more slides that I had to delete, if you can believe it. I know it was a lot of information, but like I said, this is like the most important activity in your business, like, in my opinion. So you really do, should spend time working on this and honing in on your skills. But just remember to, don't be afraid to just get out there and go and have the conversation, because that's what's going to help you learn most anyways. Okay. Anything else, Lauren? I don't think anybody has any questions.
No, it was awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, like you really just mastered it and mastered your system and your spin on it. And I think that's something that's really important, you guys, is like to take this and then to make it sound like you, right? Like, it needs to sound like you. It needs to be in your words, your voice. But it's literally just the same system. So thank you so much, Alexa. Thank you all for being on. Stay on live for the post-call giveaway. Alexa, what would you like to give away?
Ooh, I get to pick one? Oh my God. I'm actually reading a really good book, and with it being the new year, I'm going to recommend it. It's called Your Best Year Yet, or The Best Year Ever. I think it's called Your Best Year Yet by Michael Hyatt. And it's just about like setting good goals and having a vision and just really like honing in on what you want out of this year. And I have it on audio, and I've really been loving it. So that's the book that I want to recommend. And it just came out. It's like brand new. January 2nd it was dropped. So it's a new book too.
Let's do it. Sounds good.